What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I've got one from Blue Underground, Deathline, also known as Raw Meat. This is a story about a young couple who's down in the subway, and they end up crossing paths with this bizarre individual who ends up killing them. And then Donald Pleasance is called in to investigate the case. And as it turns out, there was like a section of the subway that collapsed at one point, and a bunch of people were trapped inside of it. And while the rest of the world kind of moved on, they were stuck in there, and they kind of developed their own little, world, and that involved cannibalism and incest, all that kind of fun stuff. And one of them survived and is still alive, and that's who made his way, out of there and escaped into the main subway, and that's who killed the people. So you have Donald Pleasance trying to track down this cannibal, and piece together exactly, what's going on, and that's the movie. This is a weird one. It definitely has like a slower, deliberate pace, kind of a slow burn. But it works because it's got good atmosphere, it's got good tension, and it just has a really good, like, 70s horror vibe to it. I know that sounds vague, but that's the best way I can sum it up. It feels like a 70s horror movie, and it works. Donald Pleasance is great here. He plays a really smart-ass guy who's worried about, how good his tea is. He's, solving a murder is secondary, when it comes to having quality beverages, right? I thought it was an interesting role for him because he was such a, like, it's such a colorful role. It's not just him, being a serious, dramatic actor. He gets a chance to show some, comedic skills, including some pretty dark humor at times. I think he had most of the best dialogue. I did like some of the dysfunction between some of the young couple. I thought they had some fun moments of, like, relationship drama. But otherwise, Donald Pleasance had most of the fun lines. This movie doesn't have any nudity in it, which, always sucks when the homeless are involved. You always want a lot of homeless nudity, right? Gore-wise, not a lot. It's got a lot of really good set dressing, especially down in the cannibal layer is really cool. But there's really not that much, like, on-screen bloodshed. You do have the guy biting a head off of a rat, and then you have him killing a hobo with a push broom, which is a lot of fun. But again, not a lot of gore. This is a really atmospheric, like, horror thriller, and like I said, it is slow burn. That's going to turn some people off, but I think it works. I think it's a fun movie to watch. I just like it because it's like a homeless cannibal on the loose. That's a great premise to me, and I think the movie works. If you appreciate tension and atmosphere, and you have the attention span, of a normal person, that you can sit through a movie and not have to have, CGI and constant jump scares every 2 seconds. Deathline is definitely a worthwhile movie. The Blu-ray is from Blue Underground. It's got a new 2K scan from the uncensored camera negative. It looks really good. It's got an audio commentary track. It's got interviews, trailers. The transfer is really solid. It looks really clear and clean. Much better than the old MGM DVD that I had. So if you're a fan of the movie, this is definitely the best way you can check it out. And it does have the raw meat on the flip side, the artwork, which is kind of cool. Because I think that's how I knew the movie, and I'm sure that's how a lot of people knew it. So it's nice to have that available as the flip side of the cover. A really solid disc, as always, from Blue Underground. Great transfer, good extras. I think this movie is definitely worthwhile to anybody who likes 70s horror or cannibals in general, or you just like the idea of a hobo being killed by a push broom. I think it's worth it for that. I think it's really solid. I'm definitely glad to have it in my collection, especially in such a great presentation. So it's definitely recommended. You can read a full write-up of Deathline on my website, markfusion.com, as well as other Blue Underground titles, tons of other horror, cult, exploitation, and all kinds of other movies, TV shows, game shows. Not game shows. Why did I say game shows? Video games. I don't think I've reviewed any game shows that I'm aware of. But anyway, tons of stuff there. I'm also on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at markfusion if you want to follow me there. You can also check me out on Patreon if you want to get exclusive content and go above and beyond supporting this channel and my site. But the best thing you can do for me is to hit that sub button here. Free and easy. Keeps me from becoming a homeless person, and if I do become a homeless person, there's always that chance that the subway could collapse on me and I could be stuck into an incestuous, cannibalistic existence. And I don't want that. That's not where I want to head with my life. So I would appreciate it if you would drop a sub. I greatly, greatly appreciate you watching these videos. I'm always surprised by the ones that get any views, let alone, like, a lot of views. So thank you so much for that. I do genuinely appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you soon.